right, what is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday night to the crew of the 161 River Ave Mafia. Hope you're all doing well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And let's do a quick roll call. What do we got in here? We got Aiden's in the house. Hayden's here. All right, the crew. Who else we got? We'll have more people filtering in. A lot of Hayden and Aiden right now. Aiden. I love the rhyme, man. Anthony Lapari's in the house. What's good? All right, man. What else we got? Marcel's in the house. What's good, Marcel? Dominic Davis is here. What's up, baby? All right. Yes, Sydney. Let's get. I appreciate that, Dominic. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, bro. And I have some live stream news that I'll share with you in a few. Once we get a couple more folks on here. T Drake, what's good, baby? All right. My crew is in the house. What is happening, gang? All right. Who else? You Elvis is in the house. Andrea. Hello, Andrea. Jonathan, Steve T. Ivan's in the house. What's good? 5 Cinco's in the house. John Kang, what is up? Alan's in the house. What's good, man? Hello, everybody. Ralphie B. Al Morass, you Elvis, G-Man, Chris Schmidt. The crew is here, man. I love it. Todd Lee, Dwight J., Isaac Smith. Let's go Yankees, baby. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate you taking your time out of your night, too, Dwight, for spending some time with us, man. Gary, what's good, man? What is good? Howdy, too. Al Morass, what is happening, everybody? Yeah, I appreciate you. Lorenzo, man. I mean, so for those that haven't heard, Corbin Burnes, he got beat by the team the other day in an arbitration hearing, and he expressed a lot of frustration. They haven't been able to come to any time of not even come close to being on terms in terms of getting an extension done. And he wanted to get an extension done, but he is unhappy with the way the Brewers carried themselves. So now, and I get it. He's their ace, and you want to lowball your ace. He's a Cy Young Award winner too, so I totally get that. And now there's obviously going to be speculation as to when is he going to ask for a trade, right? When is he going to do that, like Brian Reynolds did, and some other folks did as well. So that's the next. And the other question is, what's it going to cost for a trade? I put out a video the other day of, it was yesterday actually. What do you call it? Actually, it was today. Burnes or Bauer. Okay, what is it going to be? Those are the two options right now, at least. Well, being talked about options. I thought of as options for the Yankees. I mean, Bauer, we know he's a former Cy Young Award. These guys are both Cy Young Award winners. Okay, Bauer comes on the cheap. He'll only cost the league minimum because the Dodgers are picking up his entire guaranteed salary for 2023, which is like over $20 million. But he does not come without risk, right? Question marks, red flags. So you just don't know what you're going to get, and the potential could be really high, but so could the risk be. So, and that's the thing. That's the silver lining here. Is it worth taking a shot on a guy like Trevor Bauer? What's up, Frank? Kyle? What's good, everybody? That's the question, right? And $1 million question. And by the way, smash that like, everybody. For those that just came in, I appreciate you. I want to get those likes over 100 as quickly as we can. It's always helpful. So I appreciate that. And then obviously, Trevor Bauer, the compliment is Corbin Burnes. Obviously, he's a Cy Young Award winner. He's not a headache to the team. He's a proven ace, consistent, stays healthy, he's durable, but he's going to cost more than Luis Castillo is going to cost, especially with a recent Cy Young Award winner. So that's the other flip side. And we know already, I mean, they asked for, the Reds asked for Volpe, Peraza, and I think Dominguez for Luis Castillo. So that is a freaking haul for Luis Castillo. But so far, it's paid off for Seattle, I think they gave up 4 of their top 5 prospects for him. So, and they gave him a big extension too. So far, he's been money for them. So, but it still remains to be seen. But like those guys, we would not be able to talk about right now if we moved them for Luis Castillo. So, what's it going to cost to get Corbin Burnes? A similar package, maybe even more. So, and it also depends on what are the Brewers looking for. And that's what, because we know that the Pirates want like a pitching-led package, or according to them at least, for Brian Reynolds. What do the Brewers want for Corbin Burnes? They're going to want, everything. So, and rightfully so. So that's the other question. So do they fork up a haul for Burnes, who's more proven and more durable and less of a headache, or do they, go after a guy like, and this is under the assumption that they're actually considering doing something for the 5th starter. So we just don't know. We're just bringing another starter with guys down. We did get encouraging news on Nestor Cortez about a week ahead of schedule for his recovery, so that's fantastic. But you have Herman, you got Schmidt, and these guys are also going to be in the running for the 5th starter as well. So the question of the day is, I mean, do they go after a guy like Burnes, or do they go after a guy like Bauer, or do they just stay in-house? Herman, Schmidt, or somebody cheap in free agency, or a guy like Matt Crook, who's one of their lefty prospects. He's probably their highest lefty prospect. So That's the question, gang. I want to know what you folks think. So leave me your insight in the comments. Let's take it. I think I don't know, Jonathan. I mean, you're gonna have to say bye to Volpe, you're gonna say bye to Peraza, and even more for a Burn. So that's the key. Are they willing to do that? I have no idea, no idea. So, and I don't know if they would do that. They've gotten Burn, given up a lot for pitchers. So I don't know if they have the appetite to do that. I think they would give up a haul for a position player. They would just have better luck in that regard. So it's gonna be really interesting to see. Somebody is going to pay up a haul to get him. So if he asked to be moved right from Milwaukee, somebody will pay it. Somebody will. And Brewers, we got a friggin' haul. And they have Brandon Woodruff too. They might move him. If they move Burnes, they might move Woodruff too. So we just don't know yet. So, and I see a lot of folks mentioning Machado. We'll talk about that as well. So for those of you who haven't heard, Machado's opted out, Manny Machado. So we'll pivot to him now. But I still want to know what you think about, Bauer, Burnes, and why, and just, leave us some comments, and we'll get to him as well. But Manny Machado, so he gave the Padres a deadline of February 16th. Otherwise, he was going to exercise his opt-out. So what we know right now, we heard on today on MLBTradeRumors.com, is that the Padres offered him an additional 5 years to tack on past his first 5 years to turn it into another 10-year deal. But it was an additional 5 years at $105 million. Okay, so he's owed $30 million per. So it's 10 years, 150 for the first 5 years, and then they added 5 more to take him to his year 40 season. It would have been 105. So it would have been 10-year, $255 million deal. And the way I see it, I think, is he can get more than that in free agency, which is one reason why I think he's going to exercise his opt-out. So he's going to try to, and I think he's a Scott Boras client, if I remember correctly. So he's going to try to maximize that. And he definitely, if he stays healthy and productive, he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory right now. He'll definitely get more than that. So I could see why, he's going to exercise opt-out. But had he taken that, the outlay for the Padres would have been 15 years, $405 million. So it would have been under under 30 million per the average. So I think he wants to do that again and again. Nobody's ever gotten $200-300 million contracts in their career. I mean, the closest has been A-Rod. He got 250 and then a 275-ish with the Yankees. So this would be a history being made to $200-300 million deal. So that to me is would be remarkable. And I think if he stays healthy and productive, he will get it. He will get it. And I think he will only be 31 at the start of the season. So it would take him through, if it's a 10-year deal, it would take him through his 31 to 40 season. So I get it. But San Diego's a very wealthy franchise. So, they're a very wealthy franchise. So, and, they want to win. They want to beat the Dodgers. So I'm not surprised. But that's the situation with Manny Machado as well. That's it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. But yeah, I mean, Corbin Burnes does have 2 years. He's not a free agent until 2025. So he's going to cost a ton, just like Castillo did. And it's going to be crazy. I mean, now the Yankees do the Yankees have the appetite to get a guy like Machado? Maybe, but it depends on what happens this year and how their prospects pan out. Andres Chaparro is the closest guy who plays third base. That's a prospect. So, but they have to give him a legitimate chance to play. Otherwise, they might go after him. I don't know. Do they want to pay a guy 10 more years who's, going to get, just like they did Judge for 9 years, you're going to get the wrong side of 30 on a lot of those years. So, paying Machado at 25 would have been better than paying him at 30. So, that's when I've gotten him. I would have gotten, he was 25 when he signed this deal. So, and that's a different, that makes a difference. So, Baron Reynolds. Oh, Baron. I mean, I think a lot of folks would be happy, Siciliano, Baron Reynolds. And, that to me is that's a pretty formidable duo. Reynolds is going to cost the haul. Bauer they can get on the cheap. But again, I think the other thing is the chemistry in the team looks really, really good right now. They're meshing well. So does Bauer affect team chemistry? That's the big question too. They have to consider that is in their, in their calculus in terms of if they're even going to consider a guy like Bauer. So 140 folks in here. Welcome everybody. If you're new, welcome to the channel. I hope everybody hits that like button really quickly. Let's get them likes up over 100. Yankee Mike. Welcome, man. Welcome, man. I appreciate that. We're going to keep it rocking and rolling. We want to keep this enjoyable and fun for everybody. So I appreciate that, man. Welcome, Yankee Mike. And Bauer, I think Bauer's going to sign somewhere, Benji. I just don't know where. And that's the thing, Ivan, right? Is what you just said, Bauer's a cancer. And people know that it's going to very likely affect team chemistry. And are they willing to do that is the $1 million question. We have no idea. No idea. So somebody just asked me if I played. What? Did I ever play with somebody who made it to the major? There's a couple of folks in my high school that made it to the major leagues, Davey. I didn't play with them, but I went when I was at the Bucky Dent Baseball School, which is a scouting combine. They were at that place. Mark Pryor was there, and when he was getting drafted, Mark Rulazenik was there. Mike Piazza were there. A lot of major leaguers were there, working on their skill set and refining stuff. So I got to meet a lot of these guys. I didn't personally play with them, but they have they did when before that school closed. They had a replica of Fenway Park there, which was pretty damn cool. But I did see a lot of guys who made the major leagues there, which was pretty cool. And again, a couple of guys from my high school in New York, Queens, New York, have made the major leagues as well. So it's pretty cool. So and I played baseball there for a couple of years. I batted like 330. So that was my high school average for 333. Yeah, I mean, Dave, this is the thing. He made it clear early on that he wanted to try to re-up with the Pirates, but they lowballed him big time. So, they lowballed him big time. They're going to have to give him a huge extension if they want to keep him, I think. Because, I mean, they shot themselves in the foot. I think they lost leverage. And at this point, you're going to have to, probably double the contract that they offered him at the very least. So, that's the key. And we'll see what they do. I mean, I would love I've been wanting him to be in the Yankee for a long time. So I hope it's the same. I mean, I hope it happens with the Yankees, but we'll see. We'll see. So Preston, I don't know if their beef. Bauer was apparently like an a-hole to a lot of folks in UCLA when Cole was there. They played together, and that's one reason that Cole and a lot of the other folks don't like him. So, but apparently I heard, I'm hearing that they've squashed that beef already and all this stuff either. So I really don't know what to expect or what to think. I don't think any of us know the inside of the scoop. So that's the thing. So we'll see. Dominic, I'm with you. I don't think Volpe, they're going to part with Volpe. I don't see the point. Why would they? I think personally, I think in 2023, I think Oswald Peraza is going to be their starting shortstop. And at some point when Volpe gets called up, I think he's best positioned to play second base. So, and I don't know if they're going to move Gleyber Torres. I mean, it's a double-edged sword with Torres, right? He's one of their top hitters when he's on. But again, he's got controllable years and he can get an impact player back in a trade. And if the only way I trade him is if they get an impact player back, whether it's pitching or somewhere else. He's the guy with the most trade value on this team right now, who might be available. So, and again, if he gets moved, then Volpe, has a straight shot to second base, which is nice too. He reminds me of Dustin Pedroia, and honestly, Volpe at second and Peraza at short for the next decade. I mean, it's really hard to ignore that one. That would be kind of awesome. So, Benji, I mean, yeah, he might get moved. He doesn't have as much trade value as Torres does, but like, I'm more. Again, he's not going to get a return like Torres would, and that. So if anybody gets moved first, I mean, if IKF gets moved, might be for a prospect or a little bit of salary cap relief to maybe put them in a better spot to try to get Jerks and profile. I just have no idea. So, but again, the Yankees might need to address pitching, might need to address the bullpen. So even though they feel pretty good and have a lot of weapons in the bullpen, they don't even need the big money guys, which is kind of nice. But there's still areas where they can, use to get better. And again, this is where when the Yankees were at their best, I said this the other day. I was talking to Derek from NYY Recaps on his channel, and he had a great live stream last night, the other night, a couple nights ago. And so go check it out if you haven't seen it. But when the Yankees had their really good backups like Shane Spencer, Ricky Leday, and some of these other folks, that's when they were at their best. And guys that could contribute and produce even when they were only playing sporadically, once a week, whatever it is. So we haven't had that in a while. We need good backups here. So if the Yankees get to the point where they have more reliable backups that they play, a decent amount of time or whatever, I think that's when they're going to be the most dangerous. So, but again, would I add another pitcher? I probably would. Just to have that extra depth on the back end, but they look pretty formidable at the top. Their 1 through 4 is better than it's been in a while, so I'll take that. Machado going to the Mets 1,000,000,000%. Why do you say that, Ivan? I mean, I think they're going to be in the running. Yes, no doubt about it. Yeah, I heard they made up too, Benji, but that's. I don't know. Are his teammates, are Cole's teammates, okay with a guy like Bauer coming onto the team? Is the question. So we just don't know. That's cool, Wink. My cousin Troy too. He played with Andrew Bailey. He was a relief pitcher for the A's and the Red Sox. They played college baseball together. So and that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat as well. So a lot of baseball in the family. Do I think if Mark Pryor signed with Yankees instead of going to his school, you think he would have a? I don't know, David. That's a good. I mean, he signed with USC. I think he came out early, got drafted by the Cubs as the number 2 pick, if I remember correctly. He was right behind Joe Mauer. I don't remember the year, but I don't know. I think he might have needed. He had some injury issues in his career, but he's one of the better looking prospects in a while. I think it was smart for him to go to USC, develop, and all this stuff. But I don't know how much better he would have been had he just signed with the Yankees. I don't know. That's a good question. It's a really good question. I wish his career lasted longer. I mean, I wish Kerry Wood's career lasted longer too. Those guys had huge potential, big arms. They were dominant when they worked together, man. They were really impressive. I couldn't keep my eyes off those guys. Volpe get called up and Torres get traded mid-season. I mean, that could happen. That could happen, Jonathan. I wouldn't be surprised. Somebody will come hollering for Torres, and like, oh, we need another bat, we need another blah blah blah. And he could be prime trade meat as well. So try prime trade bait. So I could see that. I could definitely see that. And that's the key. Peraza and Cabrera will have permanent role. But I mean, I think Oswaldo Cabrera is. I mean, I said this before. I think he's best fit at utility guy. So we'll see. We'll see. Do the Pirates see this thing? I don't. That's a good question, Chris. Let me look up the Pirates roster. I mean, they've got O'Neill Cruz at short, Cabrian Hayes at third right now. Let's see here. Let's have a look at Pirates roster. 2023. Okay. Who is their second baseman here? Relief pitcher. All right, these are all pitchers here. Catchers, infielders. Second base, Jay Bay. I don't know who that is. Yeah, I mean, Torres would be an upgrade for the Pirates over their second baseman. Ji-Hwan Bay. Torres would be an upgrade there. But obviously it would cost more than Torres to get any of the guys that we want from Pittsburgh. So it would definitely cost more. But yeah, he would be an upgrade there too. Would Gomez be an outsider? I mean, maybe Benji. I mean, there's a couple guys. Matt Crook, I would keep an eye out for him. When Luis Hill comes back from Tommy John, they'll be looking to start kind of phasing back into things as well. So there are some guys that could be credible options. But in terms of trade-wise, I don't know who's going to be available out there. At this point, most of the impact free agents are already signed, unfortunately. So, in your opinion, do we get Reynolds? I personally am leaning towards yes, Gary. I think Cashman might be just waiting this one out, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping that they do, but that's me as the that's the ultimate one. That's the ultimate one. Homer Bush, Homer Bush. That's right. And Shelly Duncan is the new coach, I think, for AAA for the Yankees, which is awesome as well. So those 90s Yankees didn't carry 13. And I think they might have carried 11 or 12, Marcus. I think you're right about that. I do. Reynolds, I'm still holding out for Reynolds. I think Reynolds, I don't know when, but I'm still projecting Reynolds to the Yankees. So, but we'll see, we'll see. Who are Met fans who swear I mean, a lot of people say that. But he's made it clear that he didn't want to come to the East Coast. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there were a bunch of folks who said that Mike Trout demanded a trade to the Yankees. That's complete baloney, and that's just spread. So BS spreads. So, but the Mets can, maybe he does want to come to the Mets. I mean, I don't know. Reynolds for Torres, Dominguez, Sweeney, Schmidt, and B. It might. I think they could probably get him from one less player, Chris. I think, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. I think Brian Reynolds will be the number one guy here. Would help make them, closer to Houston. I think he'd be the perfect leadoff hitter too. I think DJ's best suited for batting second in this lineup, in my opinion. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, ATX, right? that he'll be on the street. I mean, I hope so. And again, if they got him on the minimum and it didn't work out, you could just cut him. And it's not like you signed him for $20 million and are taking a huge hit. You sign up for the minimum. If it doesn't work, you move on. So that's the way I see it. But I do think they need to make sure Judge is okay with it, Cole's okay with it. Make sure that some of the leaders are okay with it, leaders of the team. Now, this is solo me, Aiden. Solo me tonight. Okay, solo me. Why does everyone want to trade Torres? He won't be easy to play. No, you're right. He won't be easy to replace. But if they get him, they have DJ and LeMahieu who can fill incredibly there at second. He's a better defender too. And then once Volpe's up, DJ will give him time to develop. So, and again, yeah, I personally I'm not trading Torres just for the hell of trading him. I want to trade him only if I'm getting an impact player back, pitcher or whatever. It's got to be an impact player back who's going to help. So that's the only way I move him. Pirates don't want it. Well, they'll be cutting. They'll be moving Reynolds' salary, so it'll kind of be a wash in terms of salary. So, Joe, hello, Los Angeles. What's going on? Yeah, I mean, a lot of folks feel the same way. It's like right down the middle. It's like 100 folks. 50 will say stay away from the guy, and then 50 will probably say yes, it can't hurt to take a flyer on the guy. And again, he hasn't proven he can get out major leaguers in the last 2 years, so that is a thing too. He's got to show that he can actually get guys out. And that's the key. But again, if you get him on the minimum, you get him on the minimum. So it's not going to bankrupt him anything. So we'll see. It's too early to tell with Machado, and it's too early to tell. But he's going to be going to free agency. That we know for sure. So would I use my prospects to trade for Burnes or Reynolds? If I personally, I'd go for Brian Reynolds, Davey. That's just me. Why don't Yankees give up draft picks? I mean, they could. Isai. They could do that. Depends on if a team's willing to do that. But yeah, they could essentially give up draft picks and kind of like in football. You give up your whatever every year for the next year and blah, blah, blah. So you could do that. And this is the thing. Yeah, see, this is the flip side, Sir Sound. Exactly. Why would you want to ruin a clubhouse dynamic? And that's the other thing, right? He can have great talent, but if he's a clubhouse cancer, it can screw up a lot of things. And last thing you want to do is screw up the clubhouse chemistry, which is looking pretty good right now. I saw some more pitching drills today. They're looking good. They look happy together, and I was worried to see curious to see how Rodon was going to fit with the crew. He's fitting in like butter, smooth as butter, man. Yeah, we have Ben Rortvedt. That's right. And he looks pretty good too. And we got Trevino, and you have Higashioka. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Rortvedt. If he can stay healthy, he's got potential too. So Hicks and Donaldson getting moved in the next. If any of them get moved, Wink, it's probably Hicks and not Donaldson. I think they're gonna. I don't think they'll be able to move Donaldson's contract. I'd be surprised. I'll just say this: I'll be surprised if they did. So, what's my take on bolstering the offense? I think Brian Reynolds is the guy to get, Knuckleball. I think he's the guy to get. For leadoff, switch hitter, he's got the speed. He's a good contact hitter. It puts him in a position right at the top to let DJ move him over, and then the other guys drive him in. Plus, he's a great outfielder, and he's a switch hitter, so gives the lineup a lot of dynamic. So I think he's the guy to get that would help put them closer to Houston, Knuckleball. And yes, some be hot fire. Who's saying that, Willard? Privately told he wants out of Kansas City if they can't get him. We don't need him. He's very expensive. He's on a huge contract. He's older. We don't need Perez. Who's putting out that one that he's privately telling people that he wants to be traded? I know they have MJ Melendez already too, but who's saying that, Willard? Yeah, it's how about one of the youngsters? Well, that's what we were mentioning. Andres Trapari. He's like 22 or 23. He's a top prospect with a good solid contact hitter, a good defender who's got power. So he's the guy to try at third, I think, if they're going to try anything. And Soto. I think Ohtani and Soto will both get between $450 and $500 million. Benji, once Soto's going to be 26 when he's a free agent. So that's a good age. That's that's when you want to give him that 10-year deal for a lot of money. So Showalter gives him a lot of credit. Yeah, I mean, he's got a connection to Showalter, sure. So he could go there, but I mean, we'll see. But just because he goes there doesn't guarantee them a World Series either. That's the other thing I think it's important to remember, that just because they can sign everybody in the world doesn't guarantee them a World Series. So, but he's taking a shot. I mean, I give credit for Uncle Steve Cohen, man, for investing in his product, right? So it's absolutely key. He's investing in his product, Uncle Steve. So can't fault him for that. Cannot fault him for investing in his team. So Emily can only trade competitive. Yeah, exactly, Jonathan. That's right. That's right. Thank you for pointing it out. Appreciate that. Yeah. Profar wants a 1 year deal, but between 10 and 15 million. He's gonna have to lower his draft. He's gonna have to lower his request for money, Aiden, if the Yankees are gonna get him. So they should stop these opt outs. It's not right. Yeah, you would think so, Daniel. I mean, you know, people use them instead of no trade clause, so I get that. But I think they should. I've mentioned this before. Team opt out should be available too, but players in the union would never accept that. So, Ben Gamel won't be that bad. Yes, it is, Sean. Very important to winning. But I get your point too, Daniel, on the opt outs. Heck yeah. Marcel, thank you so much, man, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Of Herman and Schmidt, who is better suited in the fifth starter? Who could be more impactful pitcher? Of those two, Marcel, probably Schmidt's got a little bit better of a repertoire in terms of a starting pitcher, more pitches. And Herman, I think, would be a good guy to bring in for like multiple innings in the bullpen. If I had to choose between those two, that's the way I would do it. I would go with Schmidt as a fifth starter and Herman a long relief. And dude, thank you again, Marcel. Appreciate that, man. Gracias. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what Machado does. Benji, we don't know the trade coming. You like to think so, but they never leak anything, Cashman or the Yankees. So it's impossible to know, which is crazy. But it really is impossible to know. It's nuts. Yes, it can. Dominic, it can still happen. Yep. Bucky Dent was rumored to come to. Yeah. Yep. It can happen. It can happen. And again, this is the thing. They don't leak anything. We could wake up tomorrow morning and they get traded for Brian. We just don't know. So that's usually what happens with these guys. He pulls these trades out of his hat. So, which is crazy. Yeah, I think a couple of folks are saying Schmidt is a fifth starter too. Yeah, Schmidt is his dog and all that stuff. ATX. Yeah, I heard that. And again, Schmidt has some stuff. He was pretty decent last year. So he's better starting than he is relieving. So if I'm going to give him a shot, it would probably be for the fifth starter if they don't bring in somebody. So, well, that's the other thing too. The two new brains now. You got Brian Sabian and Omar Minaya. So I think they're going to put Cashman in position to make better moves, whether it be trades or signings and whatnot. I think these guys are going to help Cashman get better at his job. So I appreciate that. You got Judge hitting 65 bombs next year? Dang, Tyler. I got him at around 45-ish, something like that. So it's going to be hard to replicate what he did last year, but you never know. You never know. So, yeah, Cubs. Yep. Competition for the fifth was Nesky. Sampson was, yep. You got Jameson Tyon in there now, too. So I think they'll be all right. They made a lot of moves, the Cubs. A lot of depth moves. But again, value trades. Like the Angels have done that, too. So, like how trade rumors work with the Yankees. This works so we don't get false moves on our hobby. Well, that's the thing. That's why we never hear stuff. We get speculation from other folks and all that and everything else. So like, it just comes out of nowhere. And then people, will put like folks mentioned at the a few minutes ago. The guy who was it that I asked about the trade, and I forgot who it was. Who said that they were going to get guaranteed to get Machado? I think it was. I'm really curious to see. Yeah, I mean, Cashman wasn't able to do all the stuff by himself. There are the areas where he was weaker, and then I think bringing in those two guys are going to help him get better in those areas, particularly scouting and player development and all that stuff. There are no Acuna rumors. He's not going anywhere, Aiden. People have to stop with these ridiculous rumors. I mean, really. Even Acuna came out and said it was baloney. He said that himself. So, and that type of stuff is just speculation, clickbait stuff for, views and everything like that. That's why we don't do it here. Don't put out phony rumors and all that stuff. So it's just, yeah. The Acuna rumor was false. Exactly, ATX, more trusted voice in room. Yeah, and it's hard to get better than Sabian and Mania, to be honest with you. So really, I don't think so, Benji. I think they're going to stay in the bullpen. Loizaga and Mike King. I think. What's my take on Tatis? I mean, an elite player who made a couple of stupid mistakes, but I don't think he's going to be moved from the Padres. I think it sounds as if they're going to be trying him in the outfield this year. Wow, because now they have Xander Bogaerts. So that's what it sounds like. I don't think he's going to get moved either. I mean, if they did, you're going to get a haul. He's a top 5 player in baseball when he's healthy. So they're gonna have to get a haul back for him as well. So, but I see him staying tight. It doesn't make sense to trade him now after all the guys that they brought in. Matt Carpenter, they brought in Xander Bogaerts. Like they brought in a lot of folks, and he's also on a huge contract. Yeah, exactly, Benji. So, and ATX 100%. You want to get rid of Donaldson, you got to eat at least 80%, 50% of his contract, and give a good prospect as well. I think. So Neil, what's up, my man? What's up, baby? Gang, if you haven't hit that like button, if you don't mind, just smash that like button for me. Let's get them likes over 100. Can anybody see how many likes we have? I can't even see it on this. So Cashman, I'll give you this. So he hasn't been great in trade. Well, the Clay Holmes trade was good, and the Wandy Peralta trade was good. The Jose Trevino. So he's made some good. His smaller trades have been better than his bigger trades the last couple of years. I'll put it that way. I think it's probably the easiest way to put it. So, and Brad Hand, I think he already signed. He already signed Dayton, I think. Burnes and Yelich for Dominguez, Hicks, Cabrera. It's going to cost more than that, Chris, I think. But we don't need Yelich, to be honest with you. At this point. 93 likes. All right, we need 7 to get 100. Let's get that over 100, gang. Appreciate that. 94 likes. All right, we're only 6 away. Cool. Can you package Schmidt along? You can, but where would you package him for, Davey? I think that'd be the main question. 158 likes. How do we get from 96 to $158? We have 158 people in here, I think, Siciliano. Rizzo, they're not going to trade Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo, they're not going to move him. But the Rizzo, I mean, you're talking about for Cashman, yeah, it was a great trade. The Rizzo trade was fantastic. Yes, indeed. If that's what you meant, T. Drake, my apologies. He's been a good Yankee. I mean, if you can get Corbin Burnes, it's going to cost a boatload, but he's the guy to go after if you're going to do it. Mike Tauchman trade. Ohtani's overrated. Okay. Why do you say that, Tyler? Just curious. I'm curious. 107 likes. All right. Thank you, gang. Appreciate you. All right. So Brad hasn't signed yet? Okay. I thought he did, but my apologies there. Yeah, I think Hanley will be good too. Yeah, T. Drake, the Rizzo trade worked out well. It worked out well. I'm happy they got the Rizzo trade. Well, I mean, Ohtani's probably going to get 450 to 500 million bucks. I don't think he's a fit for the Yankees personally, but people say he's going to the Mets. Okay, I'll go to the Mets. If that's the case, whatever. Chicken Palm, baby. Chicken Palm, baby. What's good, Chicken Palm? 114 likes. I appreciate you, gang. We'll see if we can get to 150 now. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to see what Ohtani does after the season. I think the Dodgers are going to make a hard run at him. So maybe the Mariners too. They're my dark horse. The Mariners for Ohtani. They need a number 2 bat to go along with what's his name? Was it Julio? Yeah, Julio. They need a partner in crime with him. Now, the pitchers have it. Pitchers have it already with Castillo and Ray, and then you add Ohtani to that, or you add Ohtani to the lineup. He's a double whammy for them. And they're one of the few kids who can afford him. But I think the Dodgers are going to be laying in the weeds. Are going to go hard after him. I really do. D-Rod, love you too, man, but take care of the ladies. They come first, bro. Totally get you, man. Totally get you, man. Go take care of the lady. Make her happy, bro. Always great to be on, man. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's crazy how so many teams do this. So they ask more for the Yankees from the Yankees than they do it from a lot of teams in trade. So they always try to fleece the Yankees, always. So it is, I mean, Cashman, but Cashman does that too to teams too. So I get it. I get it. So, um, yeah, I heard the Twins are interested in Brad Hand too. That's MLBTradeRumors.com, the Cardinals. So that stuff comes out on a regular basis. You see the Rangers and Padres, that would be crazy, Siciliano. That would be crazy, man. The Padres guy, oh my God. What's good, John Blum? What's good, baby? What is good? Peraza is a shortstop and Cabrera is a left fielder. I mean, Cabrera's got a little bit of a taste last year, 150 at bats. I would be patient with Peraza. And if Cabrera's the left fielder, Cabrera's the left field. And then again, we have to be patient with him as well. So you want to put other guys in there. You can throw Stanton in there a little bit. You can throw some other guys in there a little bit as well. So, but yeah, I would agree. Be patient. You have to let these guys develop properly. Gotta let them develop properly. Tim McCarver, yeah, rest in peace, him. 81 years old, man. 81 years old. Packers don't want anyone of Rodgers anymore. Yeah, they're done with Aaron Rodgers. The problem is the price tag. He's going to cost multiple first rounders, and I don't think the Jets should do it. I don't want to do that. I'm hearing that. Well, Carr visited with them yesterday and today. I think had dinner with him yesterday, visited today. So I would rather just pay cash for Carr if they can do it rather than trading multiple first rounders. Because what the hell's the point of trading the first rounders if you're not getting many weapons to throw to for Rodgers to throw to? So or offensive linemen to protect them. Those are the guys you need to draft with those high picks. So it doesn't make any sense to me. And he's not enough to get them to the Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers. He's great and all, but to me, he's not enough to get them to the bowl. NFE, what's good, baby? Yeah, Stanton plays. He plays a little bit. So does Judge. Those guys play a little bit in spring training, just enough to kind of get him into game shape and get him ready to go. They don't play a whole bunch in spring training. So 124 likes, man. All right, let's see if we can get to $1.50. Let's see if anybody hasn't hit that like button, just smash it really quickly if you don't mind. Let's try to get to $1.50. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the opinion too that Aaron Rodgers should hang him up, but we'll see. You just know Machado. I don't think both of them are going to come to the Mets. But would I be surprised? No. What would be awesome though if they both went to the Mets and they still didn't win a World Series for like 10 years. So that's just me being a little mosquito for the Mets. So yeah. I'm here. Sorry about that. Cashman on pay. Just look at the front. Yeah, I mean he definitely the Ohtani deal was a bad trade. I mean, the Montez deal was a bad trade. It was also a desperation move because the Marlins tried to fleece him the last minute. For like 5 minutes before the deadline, he had a deal. Gleyber Torres and somebody else for Pablo Lopez, and then they asked for to add Oswald Peraza to it. Deal fell through. So yeah, I think those guys are both a year or two away. Chicken farm. I agree. I mean, the farm, you wouldn't have to give up both for Reynolds. You'd probably have to give up Dominguez, no doubt about it. So Nestor and Montez, and Nestor's got about a week ahead in his recovery. Montez is not, he's likely done for the season, but we'll see. Joel, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that super chat, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate the generosity. You're the man, dude. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Mets couldn't they couldn't get out of fight. They couldn't get out of wild card run against the Padres. So there's no guarantee right now that they're going to go very far, no matter who they bring in, even the guys that they brought in now. I mean, they've got a little bit more playoff experience guys now with Verlander and stuff like that. So they got a little bit more of a gamer attitude. But I think the Yankees do too with Rodon. I think they'll be more feisty on the pitching side. So, but I would still work hard to get another bat. Yes, Mike Clevenger. Yeah, he's being investigated for domestic violence. This is true. Yep. Yeah, he did threaten to sell. Yeah. Nola's a free agent, but right now, him and the Phillies are having dialogue on an extension right now as we speak. they're trading figures. So it could happen this year. But if he's a free agent, he's definitely worth looking into. A bunch of other guys can be free agents too. Like, Aaron, what's his name? Blake Snell, and a bunch of other folks. It would have been Darvish, but they extended him the other day. 6 years, right around $90 million. So, but there's still plenty of other guys who are going to be free agents. Luis Severino's going into free agency too, so just watch out for him too. So I would expect him to have a good year to try to stay healthy and perform so that he can capitalize next year. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do. It's going to be a pitching heavy free agent class next year. And again, if I'm the Yankees, with this year's draft that's coming up, it's relatively not that deep. So if I'm them, I'm going to try to get as many pitchers as we can. If you look at the Yankees farm, majority, they have some big arms in the farm, but they're all in the lower levels and they're young. So they need guys at the AAA and the AA level who are only like a year or two away from making the majors and making some kind of impact. So if I'm drafting, I'm going to draft a lot of college pitchers this coming year because of the layout, because of how their farm is structured. But we'll see what they do. I'm really curious to see if they actually do that. So, if Nola makes free agency, Tom, then I would be looking at him too. He's a good solid pitcher. So, ban all Yankees from World Baseball. Yeah. Predictions for the 2023 for the Yankees. I think they'll be at least in the ALCS again, probably against the Astros, NFE. Right now, it depends on what they do later on at the trade deadline or even early in the season. I'll have a more accurate, because I think they're right now. I grade them as an incomplete. I don't think all their moves are done yet, so I'll have a different prediction later on, I think. So, well, we'll see. Sanchez, I could see him going to the Marlins, personally. So, but we'll see. New York Mets lost a bunch of guys at UPS. UPS uniforms. Yeah. Yeah, they have a while, Sunil. Exactly. I mean, they have on paper they're great, but on paper is not the same thing as staying healthy and performing. And I think it's important to keep that perspective. So I totally agree. Yankees get a player has Paul O'Neill. I mean, Spencer Jones is similar, Davey. Yeah, Spencer Jones. And he's a gamer too. And O'Neill is that type of gamer that the Yankees need on a more of a regular basis. So we need an offensive gamer. 103 wins, Sean. All right. I'm starting to do YouTube shorts now on the channel. And today's short, this one was the over-under on 98 wins. So give me your gang. Let your thoughts over-under. Under or over 90 wins. Those are the major projections for the Yankees. They're projected by most places to win 98 games. Give me the over or under again. 132 likes here. All right, let's get to 150 first. If we can get to 150, Hayden. And I'd love to get to 200 likes if we can. We'll see. We will see. So 99 wins. Okay. Got somebody on the over. Okay. They had 99 last year, John. So again, I think they can win the division with that. I think the Blue Jays will be closer this year, but you never know. Blue Jays have made some moves. Am I going to Tampa next week? No, I'm not going to Tampa. I'm not going to Tampa at all. No, not this year. Over by like fire. Okay. So maybe 100, 203 wins, something like that. Okay. I think 98 wins will win the division. So, we're not a first team. Well, this is the thing you always say. That's the question. Like, who's going to back up Stanton or Judge if they get hurt is the question. Like, Esteban Florio, that's not good enough, right? I mean, they'll put in Oswaldo Cabrera quite a bit, but it's a good question, Elvis. You lose him, you see how much of an impact it has, which is crazy. 100 wins, okay. All right, ATX, I like it. I like it, gang. The Blues, yeah, I mean, Blue Jays are our biggest. I would agree, Hayden. They made some smart moves this offseason. They also moved in their fences. So I think it's going to benefit their offense. Over under Stanton playing the outfield 20 games. I'm going to say over, but not by much, John. Not by much. But I still think he plays about 120 games, Stanton, overall. But even if he plays outfield once a week, I'd be happy with that. And then DH the rest of the week, and still has an off day every week, no matter what. Get regular rest, Yeah, I don't think Sanchez. I'd be surprised. Where are they going to play Sanchez? Is the question, right? Because you have these other guys. You got Warfare coming in. You got Shoka. You got Trevino. Where would you play him? That's the question. I got to DH him over Stanton. So where that's the question. I mean, it's just, Yeah, I mean, Sir Silent, yes. I mean, the Jays have improved decent amount. I think the Rays are relying quite a bit on their young guys. They're going to continue to build around Wander Franco and some of these other folks. So they didn't make much noise this offseason, but that's no surprise for the Rays. They don't make any big. They don't have big off seasons, so which is crazy. Yeah, the Jays traded Teoscar to the Mariners. They also brought in Dalton Varsho from the Diamondbacks, so they made some moves. Um, and Mike Shyamalan, yeah, exactly. Oh man, yeah. Face the Oscar, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, we'll still face him, but not as much. But yeah, I'm. It's a good point. That's a good point. But we'll still be facing American National League teams as well, and it's just some American teams, just less than usual because it's gonna be more balanced out schedule. So, yeah, I mean, Sanchez will catch on some because of the potential of his bat. So, and yeah, actually, I give him credit. He always works hard in the offseason, but at some point he falls off every year and he just drifts off. And mentally, he just drifts out of the game. So, yeah, the new MLB rules this year. Yep. Exactly. ATX Mattingly underrated signing as a bench coach of the Blue Jays. Yep. I think he's going to have an impact there. I think people are probably going to be pissed off. He's going to have a good impact there. So, yeah, the Rays got traded. They traded G-Man Joy to the Pirates, if I'm not mistaken. T-Drake, if I remember correctly. So, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, before I talk more baseball, let me give you a quick public service announcement here. For those of you who don't know, I partner with Identity IQ. Anybody here needs peace of mind, is worried about getting identity stolen, getting hacked and everything, emails, whatever, use Identity IQ. That's my link. And protect yourself, protect your family. I'll leave it at that. Take a look at it. You'll see all the benefits. And if you're worried about that stuff and you want to protect yourself, I've had my identity stolen. I've been hacked. It's a pain in the neck restoring your name, your credit, and all that stuff. So take care of yourself and your family. And Identity IQ, that's my link. Go check it out. Go use it. And you can check it right now. Go to dark web search. You'll see immediately whether your email's been compromised. It's that easy. People are smart nowadays, but they're criminal too. So protect yourself. All right, let's get back to baseball. Let's get back to baseball here. Teoscar's in Seattle now. He's in Seattle now. So 102 wins with Rodon. Yeah. I could take that. I could take that. I like that. I like a lot of overs. I'm not seeing, what's crazy? Who was it? One of the team, I forgot who it was. They had him projected at 89. Was it Lynx? Had him projected at 89 wins. I think that was way low. They lowballed the Yankees a lot with that one. I think they're going to be high 90s. So this is a good point too. Yeah, I think it's be a record for stolen bases. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot more hit and runs, with the bigger bases and the shift going away. I think it's going to be a more exciting baseball season to watch this year. I'm really curious to see. 114-48, dude. Ken, if they do that, I think you have a lot of happy campers here. A lot of happy campers. Me especially. That would be freaking awesome. Oh my God. I think that was their record. Right? That was their record in 1998 when they won the World Series, and then Seattle broke it with a 116-46, if I'm not mistaken. But dude, 114-40, I'll take that all day, every day, Ken. I love it. Love it. Ghost Runner. Yeah, I know. They made it permanent yesterday, but only in the regular season, not in the postseason. So, which is kind of nice. And let's sign Demi Moore. Patrick exactly. Yeah. Blackjack me. Oh God. Imagine. I remember Blackjack. Oh God. I was at that game when he gave the middle finger to all the fans when they booed him off. That was his low point with the Yankees. He gave the middle finger, flipped the bird to the fans that were booing him. So, yeah. Sean, 50-50, John. He could, like towards the end of the postseason. I mean, the preseason and spring training teams are like, okay, we need this, we need that. We've either Guys are getting hurt. We need somebody. So I could see him filling a need from the team who needs a versatile infielder. So I could see that. But I mean, again, I don't know how much you're going to get back from him. I wouldn't expect the same type of return they would get for a Gleyber Torres, but you never know. Honestly, you never know. Gallo is still part of the team. I want to go game. Yeah, dude. You got I know he was like 0 for 100, and then he got that first hit. And people went nuts. I remember that. Yeah, 1998 left boy. There are teams out there who will take IKF. His value is underrated. So I know people like loved trashing him last year. Loved trashing him. So Miguel Andujar, I don't know. I don't think he was released by the Pirates, DFA, and released by the Pirates. So he might be a free agent, I think. Trevor Bauer's new. Yeah, except he's a better pitcher, Sunil. Yeah, Blackjack McDowell. McDowell. Oh, God. He got lit up, McDowell, too. He got lit up in the 1995. Oh, let me find my cord. 1 second here. Let me find my laptop charger. Give me 1 second, gang. I got to put this in. There we go. So my laptop doesn't die. He got lit up in 1995, that postseason by the Seattle Mariners, man. He gave up the game when he hit the game to damn it, Edgar Martinez, who drove in Ken Griffey Jr. for that freaking win. And see, this is a good point, too. Yeah. He might, that'd be a good point. Guys went out like Cecil Fielder went to Japan, hit 50 home runs, came back here. Like, guys go over there and they just play better. It's a very fundamentally sound place to play baseball. So I think he'll learn some things there. It would be a good idea for him to go to Japan and play for a year or two and then come back here. I think he'd, find himself value in places where he might not have found before. So, like, really, I think he would. Yeah. I mean, he was a good innings. Yeah, I mean, he was better than freaking Jeff Weaver. I'll tell you that. Jeff Weaver was brutal here. Brutal. So was Javi Vasquez. So McDowell, yeah, he 8 innings. Yep. Whoever needs a DH will say, yeah, is Voit still free agent? No, I didn't realize that. It's the sole reason this franchise doesn't go out to pay. It could be a reason, Sunil. Yeah. I mean, it's very, clubhouse drama-ish guy. Bauer, yeah. I mean, he's definitely opinionated. I mean, that one. So is Bauer. But, I mean, at least he had the pitching to back it up. So, Ted Lilly. Oh, man, you're bringing us back, Jonathan. I love it. Are they bringing back London Series or Field of Dreams? Field of Dreams is coming back every year, but it's not always Yankees. It rotates. There's going to be different teams this year. London Series, I don't know who's going to play in London this year. Let's look that up, actually. Let's look that up. I mean, I think the Yankees they're the first time they did the London, right? Let's see. MLB London. Here we go. London Series 2023. It's going to be the Cardinals versus the Cubs, June 24th to June 25th, a 2-game series. That's what it looks like here. So as far as I know right now, Cardinals Cubs in June. So Melky Cabrera, I think he might be retired at this point. Oh God, yeah, late 90s Yankees were phenomenal, and they had great backups. They just had a relentless team who hated losing more than they loved winning, and that's the type of guys we need here. Jeffrey, that just makes brutal, right, Billy? Brutal, dude. Trevor Bauer, the Caucasian kind of. Yeah, that's a good one, man. Cano's still out there. Yeah, Cano. We don't need any of these guys, honestly. Lilly was traded for Weaver, and then Lilly ended up with the Blue Jays. Yeah, and Lilly was decent, actually. That's a good point. Traded for Weaver. This is true. Yeah, Melky retired. Exactly. Okay, that's right, Chicken Farm. Good. Thank you exactly. Thank you for reminding us. There's a following for the Cubs, and I'm not surprised. Jeff Nelson and Mike Stan were tough guys. So was Graham Lloyd. He was another one that was a good. Remember Jeff Nelson and Graham Lloyd went after Armando Benitez, man, when he pegged Tino Martinez after Bernie hit that home run off him in the playoffs. No, regular season, not playoffs. Yeah, yeah, exactly, T Drake. Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, I mean, the only guy at this point right now it makes sense is in a trade is Brian Rounds and free agency Jerkson Profile, but he's got to lower his price. He's got to lower his price. Farnsworth is, dude, that guy. I saw somebody try to charge the mound and it worked out. I forgot who it was. It worked out terribly. But Farnsworth, that guy would beat your ass. So he played football. He was a professional. Finally, he is. So is Randy Myers. Was a reliever for the Orioles and the Cubs, and he was an expert martial artist. And a fan attacked him on the field, and he paid the price. I remember that. I'll never forget that. So, some of these guys you don't want to mess with, man. You do not want to mess with. Ramiro, yep. Hicks, I mean, I hope so. If Hicks plays, I hope he has a better year. If Donaldson plays, I hope he has a better year. That's just the best. I mean, what else can you say, honestly? Like, and what else? I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, if they're not going to move them, hopefully they'll play better. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. So, Paul Wilson. Oh, he's another guy. Paul Wilson, pitcher. I remember him. Late to the party. What are the new? So Billy, so the new details on Machado. So he opted out. He gave them a deadline of the 6th. They actually offered him another 5 years, $105 million, which is 21 per year to tax. So he has 5 years left. He's 5 years done. So the next 5 years would have taken him to 40, but it was $105 million added to the 150 that he has for the next 5 years. So it would be a 10-year, $255 million deal. He's going to get more than that in free agency. He knows that. So, and I think he's a Scott Boras agent. So it made sense for him to opt out. If he stays healthy and productive, he's going to make more than that. He's probably going to get close to 300. So he's going to go after like that Xander Bogaerts, maybe even more money. So, so I'm not surprised he opted out. I think he knows he's going to get more money than that. So the dude is right now, he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory. So I remember Aaron Small. Yeah, remember Sean Chacon and John Lieber? Those guys they came up huge for the Yankees. Huge. Lieber, Chacon, like, my God. Yeah, Small. I mean, what was he small? 14-0? Some craziness like that, which is nuts. So, those guys, man, yeah. But rarely do we see that type of stuff, unfortunately. So, yeah, Yes Network got rid of Beltron. Cam Maben in the booth. Got Graham. Go get Graham Lloyd. Graham Lloyd would be interesting. I think he's from Australia too. He's got an accent. If anyone pegs Judge Stanton or Rizzo, Graham Lloyd. I like that. Imagine being attacked by a reporter, by someone in the booth. That'd be great. Yeah, he is a Boras guy, right? Manny Machado. So, not surprised he exercised that opt out, and he even had it into his contract to begin with. That's a Boras thing to do. Very Boras thing to do. So, yeah, Duque. I mean, I loved Duque. Loved Duque's. Cashman. Yeah, Cashman. Cashman brought in Duque. He brought in Scott Brocious. He brought in David Justice. He brought in David Wells. He brought in Roger Clemens. He brought in CC. He drafted Judge. I mean, Tanaka. A lot of these guys he got. So this is the thing and I say this, the easiest way for me to interpret it is he has a 25-year track record. There's no GM in baseball right now that has a career even close to being that long. So it's really hard to compare because he's going to have a ton of bad moves. He's going to have a ton of good news. So either way you look at it, it's like, this is a kind of a crazy comparison. Remember Cy Young? Okay. He has the most wins in history with 511, right? That's crazy, right? Now, he also has the most losses in history, okay? And which is crazy. The guy had more than, and again, it's kind of a crazy comparison, but it's true. And I'm pulling the stat right now. 500 career wins, all right, and versus, which is nuts, but it's true. 315 career losses. That's a lot of losses. So when you think about it that way, 511 super impressive, but look at his losses. That's a lot of losses too. So it's kind of a funky comparison to Cashman, but Cashman's got a ton of good moves and a ton of bad moves, and his tenure has been longer than anybody else. So it's easier to say, one way or the other in terms of Cashman. It's, but it is easier to trash him too. And a lot of folks love to do that, as we know. But, it is what it is. Yeah, Sean. I mean, 511 wins and 315 losses. And guys were throwing almost complete games back in the day. So, and Sabian's got some tenure too. And again, he was with the Yankees when they drafted the core four. He was one of the scouts that brought those guys in, that drafted Jeter, that drafted all those other guys, Posada, Pettit, Bernie, like Mo. He was very instrumental in bringing those guys into the Yankees. So, I mean, Swisher would be awesome, but I also hope he's a like a spring training instructor and all this stuff too, Dom. I love Nick Swisher. I love them. That's the type of energy and fun that Tommy Kahnle brings now to the team, which I love Tommy Kahnle. So I think Posada still works for the Marlins. I mean, I'm not exactly sure if he left after Jeter left, but I know Jeter brought him in. But he probably does, I'm guessing. So yeah, well, this is true too, Davey. That's a good point. I mean, Cashman has got a very particular way of looking at and analyzing people, which I think, again, he's deficient in certain areas. That's why Sabian and Minaya are here. So I think it's just going to make the Yankees better overall. I think it's going to improve their decision making, which is important too, which is really, really important. So, but we'll see. Pitchers. I don't know, Jonathan. I mean, you have Walter Johnson, who regularly threw over 100. He was in that era. Walter the Train, and some other folks as well. So Christy Mathewson. I mean, it's different now, Jonathan, but there's more guys now to throw this hard. But that's the other thing too. Like, we don't have all the stats because we weren't there 150 years ago, so 120 years ago. So, but I can see a point. Suggesting the Padre fans that maybe Preller trading for Devers shortly before he signed the new deal before Neil got mad would have been perfect. He would have been perfect to replace Machado with your boy. Yeah, that's a good point. So, shouldn't the Yankees get a different ownership? I don't know. I mean, if they keep making this, profiting wildly like they're doing, I don't know, why would they sell them is the question. It would just be nice if they, won some World Series along the way more often than usual. So, that's the case. I mean, it's like, ownership doesn't really change hands very often in baseball. So, and that's, one, and Jeter said that too. It's like, it's very hard for owners to sell the team. They just don't do it because it's just way profitable. Why would they? Why did all the ex-Yankees move to the Marlins? Because Jeter. Jeter. I mean, he had a close relationship with these folks, and they were looking for guys, and you're willing to pay guys and willing to bring in guys. So, and the Yankees had winning pedigree, and all those guys they brought over, they were winners. Jeter, Mattingly. So it's crazy, but it's true. And they turn that franchise around. But it's important to continue to see. They have to be willing to spend. They have to be willing to do some of the other things as well. So I'll wrap it up shortly as well, okay? Donnie, yeah, he's a bench coach now for Toronto Blue Jays, Benji. Yep. Padres are an interesting place because they got to reset. Yeah, well, they gave up a lot for Soto. So, and if they extend Soto and Machado and bring in Ohtani, they're probably the best team in the National League at that point. Probably by a significant margin too. It'd be kind of nuts, but they definitely has shown a willingness to spend. That's for sure. 150 likes. All right, gang. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate all yous. 150 likes. You gang, you guys are the best. And we're starting to get the views up, and again, we're starting to get the likes up and attendance on the live stream. So I think people are getting re-engaged now. People are more excited now that baseball's finally back. So we need it back. We need it, man. It was slow in January and February, man. Really slow. Even late December. But January especially was brutal. What do you think of Derek Jeter working with A-Rod? I think it'll be fun, Ken. I mean, he's going to bring a different perspective. I mean, A-Rod's a baseball nerd. He's a baseball lifer, but I think Jeter's going to bring a different perspective to complement him. And let's get to 160 likes. Yeah, that would be awesome, Dominic. If anybody hasn't smashed that like button, please do. We got 10 likes away from $160. So, Padres should explore stadium naming rights deal with UPS. That's a good point. Makes sense. UPS. What do you think will happen? So ATX is a good question. They're trying to figure out a way to get Paul O'Neill back in the booth, but they haven't been able to do that yet because of his anti-vax stance. He's not allowed there. That's why he's doing these videos from home. So I don't know what they're going to do, to be honest with you. Even if they have a glass partition or something, I don't know. It's unfortunate. I don't know what the hell's going to happen because I like him. I like him calling games. He's really, really good. But this is what happens with this type of stuff, and people are just. But again, I mean that's the job, right? I mean the company and is requiring it to happen, and he's not doing it. So there's only so much at some point they can do. And but I hope they resolve it one way or another. I really do. You would think, but I don't know. Some people just don't want to get the vax, but it is what it is. No longer allowed to deface stuff and play. Yeah. This is true. This is true. Very true. Jonathan. Yep. Steven, always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure having you on. I'm going to wrap it up shortly too, but we try. Yeah, look, we try to enjoy. We try to bring the brightness. We talk about with the not so great stuff, but we don't dwell on it, Steven, because it's not, at least not we don't do here. We try to find the positives and stuff and try to find the solutions, man. So, but I appreciate you being on, Steven. Thank you. And we're going to continue doing this all year. And now that we have more to talk about, now that spring training is here, it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, hell of a lot more fun. But yeah, well, exactly. I just wish, what do you call, where is it? ATX, a personal choice. People have their own. I just wish they applied that same standard to women, because they sure don't let women make personal choices. But we'll keep that, for the political nut jobs. We don't do the political crap here. Screwballs legal. Yeah, screwballs. Yeah, man. Negro was good at the screwball. I had a knuckleball too, but Negro was notorious. I think it was. I don't know if it was Phil or Joe, but he was notorious for the screwball. So, if they care on it, well, I mean, there's all different opinions on that too, but it's yeah. Yeah, and I get what you're saying, Davey. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, Steve Cohen invests his product, man. Jason Hickman's in the house. 2 more likes to $160. Can we get 2 more likes for 160? We'll see. Yeah, man. When COVID ends May 11th, O'Neill can be the same. COVID ends May 11th? What's May 11th? Once de Mayo? Is that another holiday? Yeah, exactly. We try to avoid the political stuff here, man. Only baseball. Yeah, Steve Cohen's, I mean, he's got paper, man, so he's going to invest in his product, and why not? He's already brought the value of the franchise back up a lot, so he'll continue to do that. I mean, why would you not invest in your product, in your team? You want to be as good as possible, so, at some point it's going to click. Yeah, exactly, Billy Branch. Thank him. It's my pleasure, Dominic. It's a pleasure having you on. I'm going to wrap it up in a minute or so. Knicks are quietly getting better too, man. Quietly getting better, baby. Love it. Yeah, I mean, I would love to have Swisher. Does anyone? Ephus. It's been a while. I think who the hell threw it last? It wasn't. Was it Daisuke Matsuzaka? I think maybe it was Daisuke to the Ephus. I don't remember. Fernando was the best with this. Oh, screwball, yeah. From Venezuela, ATX, yeah. He was amazing, man. Darvish. Darvish threw the Ephus too, yeah. Well, exactly, T. Drake, exactly. Doesn't need to involve race or politics. Yep. The porn bot. Yeah, all right, you're back, D-Rod. All right, welcome back, bro. The porn. I know. What happened to the porn bots? Are they going somewhere else? Are they dissing us? Are we not good enough for the porn bots? Come back. We had fun with yous. I agree, D-Rod. Where's the light? Where's the love from the porn bots, man? You know? Where is the love? Ridiculous, man. I appreciate you, D-Rod. I'm saying I'm right with you. I'm right here with you, D-Rod. Right here. 161 likes. Just like 161 revamp, just like the address for you. I love it. I love it. I'm right with you, Brian Daly. Right with you, baby. Right with you. Swear, Reynolds bang. Sweeney wants Swisher odd man. That would be nuts. What would it look like? It should look like a replica of Yankee Stadium, C Corp, if they won the World Series ring. If they can get that on there. Oh, that would be so sexy. Yeah, Duke had an Ephus. That's right. That's right. Real legit knuckleballs. I mean, R.A. Dickey, I think, was the last one, right? Yankees, Giants, Steelers, Knicks, and Rangers. I'm Yankees, Jets, Rangers, and Knicks. So we're pretty close, Chicken Parm. Yeah, Valenzuela, he was legit. He was legit. I think we should do a video, John, and like D-Rod. We should do, where are the porn bots? Please come back. Where did you guys go? We need the love. We need the love, man. So I don't know about you, John and D-Rod, but I'm feeling unloved by the porn bots. Not cool. No bueno. No me gusta. Nada. Yeah, we just did. We just passed 160, man. I appreciate that. But on that note, we'll wrap it up too. So I want to thank you all for coming on. This was a lot of fun, and that's what we have right now. And thanks so much for coming on and spending some time with us. Have a great day tomorrow. Enjoy your weekend. If you're off Monday, have a great Monday off as well. And peace and love to all yous. Appreciate all yous. And have a great week, man. Talk to you next time.